So caught up in being in love with this, bro. I don't even think this woman really loved you like that, bro. You gotta watch the signs, man. That woman said you weren't even her type. If a woman tell me she not my type but end up with me, then what's keeping you here?
He went from two-way phenom to a 46 million headline in a heartbeat. And with that kind of spotlight, even a whisper turns into a storm. Jacksonville's new star, Travis Hunter, just married his longtime partner, Leanna Lenee, and the internet has treated their first weeks as a married couple like a season of must-watch TV. The money is real, the pressure is heavy, and the chatter, louder than a stadium on 3rd and Long. Before the rumor mill ever spun up, the facts were already loud. Travis didn't just arrive, he detonated onto the scene. One minute he's the most watched name in college football, the next he's the face of a franchise with a rookie deal big enough to change the temperature of every room he walks into.
Congratulations on your engagement, but man, you might have to disengage because it's something about this woman, man. And she was talking like she was really that chick.
Say, bro, you love this woman. I'm happy for you, but just protect yourself.
Overnight, it's playbook installs, media gauntlets, a new city, and the kind of expectations that turn regular Sundays into national events. Right in the middle of all that momentum came the ceremony. Tennessee, family, friends, a day that said, this isn't just highlight tapes and headlines. There's a real life behind the jersey. And then the gift moment hit the timeline like a firework. A tricked out G-Wagon delivered as a wedding surprise. It wasn't subtle. It was a statement. The message was clear. On the field and at home, everything just went next level. That's where the stakes snapped into focus. Big money, bigger microscope. Every smile becomes a screenshot. Every glance turns into a theory thread.
But y'all, this girl does not like him. She already said he is not her type. There's no way that I can say that somebody is not my type, but then all of a sudden know that he's about to come into a whole bunch of money, and then now that he's your type?
It's the price of prominence. When your career lifts off, your private moments stop being private. And that's exactly when the old clips, hot takes, and half-remembered quotes came crashing back into the conversation. It starts where most modern stories do. The DMs. A message, a pause, a longer pause. She lets it sit. He circles back. What follows isn't a sprint. It's a slow build. Texts turn into real conversations. Let's just be friends turns into actual time spent. Not headlines or photo ops, just two people trying to figure out if this is real while life moves fast around them. They're in different lanes, different schedules, different stages, classes, workouts, travel, film study.
I shot my son on Instagram and she dubbed me.
I didn't dub. I just didn't respond to him. He wasn't my type.
I wasn't her type.
I left him in my DMs for like 2 months. He was friend zone because I didn't like. He was like, "In my friend zone?" I was like, "Yes."
It's not glamorous, but it's momentum. The public only sees the highlights. They don't see the small stuff that stacks up. Rides after late nights, quiet hangouts, the inside jokes that only make sense to two people. That's how the foundation gets poured. Then the relationship stops being background noise. It gets a name. Engagement whispers float. Then the announcement hits, and suddenly there's a date, a venue, and a countdown. Tennessee becomes the backdrop. Big sky, big family energy, the kind of setting that turns a moment into a memory. The ceremony lands and the timeline erupts. Suits, vows, and then the jaw dropper. A Brabus-tuned G-Wagon as a wedding surprise.
Yep, and despite him just signing a $35 million contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars, he didn't sign a prenup. Now here's what Mason Cam had to say about this on their Is What It Is podcast.
I definitely would think he should look in the direction of protecting his assets. Maybe not with a prenup, but there's other things you could do these days.
It reads like a headline because it is one. From DM to I do, the chapter closes with receipts, a public ceremony, a very public gift, and a couple stepping into a bigger life than either one had in the early messages. But as soon as the confetti settles, the internet goes digging. Old clips resurface. One line in particular gets pulled, looped, and debated into oblivion. One line, 4 words, wasn't my type. That snippet didn't just resurface, it took over the timeline. It's the kind of clip the internet loves. Short, spicy, easy to weaponize. People clipped it, slowed it, stitched it. Narratives formed in minutes.
How do you maintain such a healthy relationship?
Don't let social media be in your relationship.
Okay.
Never post when y'all have problems.
Okay.
And be honest, always.
Okay.
Always be honest.
I feel it. You got the ring on right now?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Suddenly, a throwaway moment sounded like a verdict. Context showed up late, like it always does. Leanna explained she meant the circumstances back then. Age, timing, the messiness around early DMs, not looks. She said the first impression wasn't a no to the person, it was a no to the situation. Over time, the dynamic changed. Trust built, real life replaced rumors. That part didn't trend. But once a line becomes a meme, intent stops mattering. Fans projected their own histories onto it. Some heard caution, some heard calculation, others heard honesty. Someone admitting they needed time to see the person beneath the highlight reel. The same sentence meant 5 different things to 5 different people. And that's the trap of viral fragments. A relationship is paragraphs, the internet reads headlines. Clips flatten nuance. They erase the quiet parts, the small apologies, the steady effort, the day-to-day proof. Still, the quote did damage. It fed every "she's not in it for him" thread and gave the skeptics a rallying cry.
Pissed that he's taking pictures and doing autographs. She even says, "What do you want me to do? Just stand here? Well, unless you could jump a hitch route and take it 60 yards to the crib?" Yeah. Then the internet got a hold of this lady. Videos start coming out left and right of Travis Hunter's girlfriend being for the team. I mean, she was in the trenches. She was in the music videos. Oh my gosh, what I feel for Travis Hunter.
Meanwhile, the other side pointed to growth. People change. First takes evolve. If you meet someone at the wrong time, the second look can be the real one. That's a fair argument too. But fair rarely wins online. Loud does. Either way, the fallout had a cost. Brand talk shifted, comment sections sharpened, even locker room jokes travel when you live on camera. The couple went from newlyweds to a case study in minutes. Perception versus reality, clip versus context. And then came the next accelerant, not a quote, but a question. If timing and trust are fragile, what about protection? That's when an old conversation about paperwork reappeared and pushed the discourse into a whole new lane. A single word turned the comments into a courtroom. Prenup. The moment old footage of advice about paperwork resurfaced, the discourse split. Half the timeline called it smart. The other half called it cold. That's the thing about protection. People hear it as preparation or prediction, depending on what they want to believe. Here's the quiet truth most folks skip. A prenup isn't a breakup plan. It's a clarity plan. It says, if this ever goes left, we won't let anger make the rules. It sets out who owns what, how new money gets treated, what happens with debt, gifts, businesses, even royalties. It can streamline life while you're together too. Because money fights usually start where expectations end. Didn't sign one? There's still a cousin to it, a postnup. Same idea, different timing. You're already married, so the conversation feels bigger. It can calm a storm or start one, but it gives a couple something powerful, definition. And definition is underrated when the spotlight never shuts off. The internet, of course, doesn't do nuance. It wants a yes, no, hero, villain.
No, that doesn't even sound right. That does not sound right. I'm sorry. Once you say somebody is not your type, they are not your type. They are not your type.
If you mention paperwork, you're calculating. If you don't, you're naive. In reality, it depends on facts no one on social media has. What was discussed, what each side wanted, what the lawyer said, what they decided together. Without that, all we have are takes. Still, the clip hit a nerve for a reason. Big contracts change gravity. Friends become advisors. Advisors become caution signs. Trust stays trust. But pressure makes even solid ground feel shaky. A prenup talk doesn't mean love is weak. It means the stakes are high and both people can feel it. And that's why the debate didn't stop at the document. It zoomed out to the map. Because once people noticed where the wedding happened, the legal hot takes shifted from should you sign to does the state matter? That's when a single line from family law lit up the timeline and turned a venue choice into a strategy thread. The moment people clocked Tennessee, the comments shifted from romance to rule books. The hot take was simple. Get married there, cash out fast. Reality's messier. Tennessee doesn't require a minimum marriage length for courts to consider alimony, that's true. But nothing is automatic. Judges weigh a stack of factors: financial need, ability to pay, earning capacity, the lifestyle during the marriage, health, age, and yes, how long the marriage actually lasted. Short marriage? That usually points to short-term support, if any, not a guaranteed jackpot. There are flavors to this too. Some support is designed to bridge a transition. Some aims to help a spouse retool for work. Some is lump sum, more like a one-time settlement. Long-term, open-ended support is typically tied to longer marriages or big earning gaps. Meanwhile, property division is a different lane from support, and any prenup or postnup, if it exists, can reshape both maps. Translation: Tennessee equals instant win makes a great thumbnail, but it's not how courtrooms work. So why did the theory take off? Optics.
Big marriage.
An announcement?
Love is in the air.
Yes, something's in the air. Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter married his a high school sweetheart.
His high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
At least college sweetheart.
I mean, when you're like 20, it just feels the same. High school sweetheart.
I didn't even call it that, but
Travis Hunter is the second pick from this recent NFL.
A high-dollar rookie deal plus a quick ceremony in a state known for flexible alimony rules looks strategic, at least online. But couples pick venues for 100 reasons. Family proximity, scheduling, vendor options, or simply loving a space. Unless someone files paperwork and spells out intent, venue as strategy is just that, speculation. And that's the tension with legal chatter on the timeline. Simple narratives travel faster than nuanced facts. The only thing we can say for sure is that Tennessee keeps the door open to alimony. It doesn't promise what's behind it. Which brings us back to the images that convinced so many people, rightly or wrongly, that there had to be more going on. Weddings are about feelings. The internet is about frames. A half-second pause can look like distance. A quiet smile can read as cold. That's what happened here. Clips from the reception turned into Rorschach tests. People saw what they already believed. The gift stole the spotlight. A Brabus G-Wagon doesn't whisper, it roars. The timeline loved the spectacle, then judged the reaction. She didn't leap, she didn't scream. Some called it ungrateful. Others said that's just how some people process shock. Frozen, small smile, eyes darting, trying to catch up to the moment. Both takes spread because both felt plausible in a vacuum. Then came the micro reads. A glance away mid-dance, a hand drop a beat too soon. A laugh at the wrong time. Body language threads treated seconds like evidence. But body language without context is guesswork. Lighting, fatigue, pressure, even the DJ's timing, all of it colors how a moment plays. There's another layer the camera never shows. The off-camera minutes, the unposted congratulations, the private thank yous, the families doing the real work of a wedding, hurting people, fixing schedules, calming nerves. Those don't go viral, but they're the substance of the day. What the public record actually confirms is simple: a high-end Tennessee ceremony and a headline gift that matched a headline contract.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just because of all of the stuff that went viral leading up to the wedding. But I'm like, man, this boy can't catch a break because that has become the conversation around whether he should have a prenup or not with this woman, because there are reports that he does not have one.
But look, if he don't want one, he don't want one.
Everything else is interpretation stacked on interpretation. Optics persuade, proof persuades more. Still, optics matter because they set a tone. When the gift moment reads lukewarm to some, it primes viewers to doubt everything that follows. That's how a celebration becomes a subplot, and a love story becomes a debate club. And once the tone is set, the algorithm does the rest. Reaction videos respond to reaction videos. Threads feed threads. By Monday, a few seconds of wedding footage had been promoted to Exhibit A in a story no one could actually prove. If this were only about angles and expressions, the noise might have faded. But it didn't. Because right as the wedding clips peaked, the narrative took a sharper turn. away from slow motion glances and straight into claims that set the entire timeline on fire. Beyond the noise, coverage pointing to the crying clip says there's no hard evidence of a split. The picture you get from mainstream write-ups is simpler. A young couple learning how to live under a microscope while a gifted rookie tries to become a franchise cornerstone. It's less sensational than the thumbnails, but it's also the only version anchored to named, accountable outlets. Until something concrete lands, statements, filings, official actions, everything else is ambient drama. Here's the truth that doesn't trend. Fame multiplies whatever was already there. Pressure, faith, doubt, loyalty, fear. Travis Hunter's story is football and family colliding in real time. He has the kind of contract that turns any relationship into a headline, and a partner who's had to explain herself on camera just to be heard over the crowd. Maybe that's the cost of the spotlight. Maybe it's the test that forges something stronger. Right now, the verified story is new marriage, big expectations, and a city waiting on a debut. The speculative story is louder, but loud isn't the same as true. If the rumors are real, the next chapter could break the internet. If they're not, the noise will fade and the scoreboard will take over. Either way, we'll watch this play out, careful to separate what's confirmed from what's just circulating, because that difference is everything. So, what do you think? Are we watching a love story strained by the spotlight? Or just another case of the timeline doing what it does, grabbing a clip and building a myth? Drop your take below. And if you're here for the real updates, not just the whispers, stick around. When something moves from rumor to record, you'll hear it here first.